All right, so this is one that I made up to help toddlers learn their numbers, 1 through 10 specifically, and also learn to follow verbal instructions or to listen critically, which are things that toddlers work on through the course of the school year anyway. So, let's not sing it up there. We'll sing it right down here. So let's do something. You say a number, and then you'll say an action. So for example, I would say, all right, everybody stand up. Let's stand up. If you're standing, it's easier for them to stand up. You always need to mimic what you want them to do when you're working with toddlers. So stand up. All right, great job. I want you to listen. And for toddlers, I would pick one or the other. They're either listening for the number that you sing or for the action that you sing. It will be easier for them to pick out the action because it's the last thing you're going to say. And they usually, at this age, are mimicking the last words of what you say anyway. So I'm going to start with that at the beginning of the year, and then eventually towards the end of the year, I'd hope that they would be able to pick out the number as well, or instead. So I'm going to say, all right, I want you to listen for what I'd like you to do. I'm going to sing something that I want you to do with your bodies. Listen carefully. So I would sing, let's do 5, clap our hands. And I'd say, what are we going to do? And if they don't get it, I'll say, what are we going to do with our hands? And then they'll either clap for you, or if they're a little more verbal, they'll say clap. You say, yeah. All right, everybody, we're going to clap our hands 5 times. Let's do it together, and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great counting. And then I would do another one. I would say, let's do 6. Jump up and down. And I'll say, what are we going to do 6 times? They might start to jump, or they might tell you, jump. You say, yeah, all right, and then you'd have them count it with you out loud. Say, all right, let's do 6 jumps. Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can keep going. You can say, let's do 3 spin arounds. What do I want to do 3 times? What are we going to do? And they'll say spin around, or they'll either just spin around. So you'll say, yeah, let's count it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great job. And I'll do all the numbers. You can do them consecutively, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. Or you can jump around 5, 6, 3, 7, 8. But always put an action with that you would like them to do. And again, that's for the beginning of the year. Towards the end of the year, you can get what's a little more tricky for them, and you'll say, now I want you to listen to the number that I sing. Listen for the number. Let's do 7, bend our knees. And I'll say, what number did I sing? They're like, 7, of course. All right, let's bend our knees 7 times. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great counting. So that's for toddlers. If you want to do this with a little bit older, like the 3-year-olds, they'll be able to count to 10 already, but you can use this activity to help them improve their critical listening. And so I would ask them, what are we going to do? You can start with one or the other. Or you can phrase it in a little bit trickier way. If you say something like, let's do 5 spin arounds. If you say, or if you ask them, how many times are we going to spin around? That's harder than you asking them, what number did I sing? So for 3-year-olds, you can start to do things like that. How many times are we going to spin around? Because then they have to put together, how many times means I need to think of a number. So they need to make the connection between that question, how many times, that means a number. Their answer should be a number, and the number that you sang. So you can make it, trickier on degrees. But in general, I wouldn't do this with kids any older than that. They'll already be able to count, and they'll already have those critical listening skills. But it's great to do with children, 18 months to 3 years old. Just as sort of a fun filler activity or something that's a focusing activity right after the happy song. Get them up and moving and focusing a little bit so that they're focused for the rest of the session.